So, good evening, well, everybody. Warm welcome to today's session on decoding career paths. Core IT or digital marketing. So, primarily, we do these type of programs as a part of various platforms. Today, I would say a session is really special because we are doing an online free internship in the embedded systems domain for the past few weeks, and we are utilizing the same classroom whatever we are offering to our interns, right? Where every day thousands of them join and take up the classes. So we're utilizing this session, which typically a technical session to talk about the career path. And also we are invited quite a lot of folks in our campus ambassador ecosystem and also their friends. So that way, this is an amalgamation of a good number of students. Predominantly, I understand you would be a 2025 or 2026 pass out. Can you type it in the window which era pass out you are from, which you are expected to graduate, so that I get to know the distribution for today? Are you 2025 or 26? Which year you are going to pass out the engineering degree? A lot of responses are coming. Let us see which era pass out you guys are from. Yeah, 27. I'm seeing somebody. Wow, 26. Okay, 26 and 27. Great. I think you guys have got another year or two to go. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so that way this is a very ideal workshop or seminar, I would say, because as you are going through your engineering education, you have another, or even at 25 students also may be joining through our ambassador network, right? But nevertheless, these questions remain in your minds, right? For example, if you look at the opportunity that are available to you, you have, if you decide to take a technical job, okay, whether you are from any branch, you could be from computer science, ECE, triple E, mechanical, civil, any branch. You have two choices. If you decide to have your career in the technology industry, right? Either to go in the core side or to go in the IT side. Similarly, if you decided saying that, oh, sir, I'm not sure whether I really want to do something in tech. One very interesting opportunity that exists is in form of digital marketing. Okay, even though there are other options are there, somebody can get into sales, somebody can get into, let us say, marketing, right, operations, admin, etc. But digital marketing is one interesting field which, according to me, is also suitable for engineers. We'll talk about it, why and what of it, in the workshop today. Okay. So you have technical option. You have two choices there, core or IT. Or you say, no, sir, no, I'm not good in technical. I want to go into the non-technical side, where I would seriously urge you to give digital marketing a very important position there, because it is a very good domain that is growing. We'll talk about it, right? So as a third year student, okay, or as a pre-final year student or second year students, it's always confusing, because you ask anybody, they'll be telling different answers. You ask one particular senior, he will tell his perspective, okay? Or you ask your neighborhood bhaiya or your cousin, he says something else, right? Or you go and study in internet, right? There are also a lot of mixed opinions are coming. So this workshop, kindly note, we are not going to bias you. We are not going to tell you, oh, do this, only do this, don't do that, right? Rather, take this particular workshop is something to open up your minds, explore what is there in core, explore what is there in IT, explore what is there in digital marketing, a little bit more interest on the core side, because that's where we come from. Over the years, I've been trained as an embedded engineer for the larger part of my career, right? So what are the trends, for example, how AI is going to impact the core industry and stuff like that. We little bit give a stress on the core part. Okay. So what is the objective of this workshop is to give you a set of exposure, so that you decide what is important for you. In every career workshop I run, webinars that we do, we say we are not the decision makers. You are the decision maker. Why? Because you're all in your early 20s. Right? You have next 40 to 50 years of work life to go, because gone are the days where people retire at 50, 58, and look at a public sector professionals. Like, for example, my father was working in the state government, right? At the age of 58, you get a retirement party, they will leave you at your home. After that, you start getting pension, right? You enjoy a very relaxed life. That is not going to be the case. When you are in a private sector, you need to be there for a longer haul. So when you're doing something on a longer haul, better you choose something which you really like. Better you choose which comes naturally to you. So that when you're going to design your career for next 40 years, let's say there are 20, you need to work till, let us say, 60 or 65 for that matter, right? You need to choose something which you really love, really you enjoy and do it. Okay. So my idea of this today's workshop is to give you the necessary insights and trends and probably some tools so that you guys go and explore. I'm not going to tell, you know what, IT is better, core is better, right? Digital marketing is the best. No, I'm not going to say that. In fact, nobody should be making such statements, right? It is up to you. So make it as this particular seminar to open up your mind, explore what is there. Again, let us try to make it interesting. Okay. So my request is ask as many questions as possible. I know it's a relatively larger crowd. I'll try to answer as many questions as possible. I'll pause in some logical intervals, but you don't need to wait. As and when you have some questions, you can just go ahead and type it in the chat window. Okay. So without further delay, let us get started. So many of you know Emertxe. I think the interns were already doing the internship, right? We are an tech company. We've been in this education for 20 plus years. We actually aspire to solve two challenges. In the entry level engineers, we give them hands-on programs in embedded systems, IoT, and full stack development, and make them employable. And in the upskilling segment, we actually train working professionals and help them to achieve a career transition. Or we also offer custom training program for organizations so that they can upskill their employees. Any program that we do, we make our education hands-on. You can see the hand making a pot there. To ensure that people learning by doing, so that you don't forget. You keep things in your you don't need to keep things in your memory all the time, right? So that's the whole idea about Emertxe. Okay. So before getting into this particular session, right? So we all know these movies. Okay. So let me just put up three pictures there. All three of them. One commonality is that Amir Khan is a common person there. Okay. Definitely, Three Idiots is something which we all can relate to, okay, where people take up engineering and then they discover what they're good at, then they go and do whatever they become, right? So in the similar lines, okay, you also see Dangal, where Amir Khan is always been trying to have a baby boy, and in one incident where he comes to know that his daughters are also equally good enough in doing this kusti, right? Then he goes and creates them as a wrestlers, and they go and win medals for India, right? So in the similar lines, if you look at Tare Zameen Par movie, where there is this chap, Ishan Nandakishore Avasthi, who is struggling with education, learning. His parents put him on a boarding school. Then Amir Khan comes in, and then he steps in and he helps him to transform his life, right? This is all just a overview of the movie or the storyline, right? So matching is a career part which we're going to talk about today. Okay? Building careers kind of thing, right? How can you correlate these movies? May you know how you can correlate these movies? Let me see some answers here. Okay, what you guys are telling here with respect to these movies, and basically, okay, yeah, okay. So we will not be having any academic discussions, right? Yeah, that says. So AI can't replace digital marketing. And we'll come to AI. We'll talk about exclusively about AI. Which field is best for electronics and key? We'll come to that, Rakshita. That's the whole idea of talking. Let us start little lightweight notes. Right? Let us not make it too serious, right? So we showed you three what do you call movies, and we talking about career building, right? Can you correlate? I just narrated the storyline of those three movies, right? Okay. Okay, one person is telling achievement, right? So you can achieve something. Okay, great. Higher studies are in embedded systems. Yeah, we'll come to that, guys. Okay, technical things I'll come. Okay, but before that, I just want to start with a lighter note in terms of career building. How do you correlate with the career building? Okay. So from Dangal movie, girls empowerment. Okay, that's nice. Any other reflections? I'm talking about career building. Today we're going to talk about career building, right? How these three movies you guys can correlate. Come on, guys. I need some answers. By experience, they reach the goal. Okay, nice. That's you experience yourself, then reach the goal. Anybody else? Any other reflections? Follow your passion, Anshuman, right? It tells us about real life values and experiences we should focus on. Okay, very nice. Okay, and show how mentorship and teamwork can change lives. Okay, hidden talent pushing individual growth. Right, fantastic. A lot of interpretations. Right, hard work and smart work. Right, many different answers are telling. Right, so here many of you are telling basically passion, right? working hard and things like that, right? Okay. So if you look at a little bit of insight into passion, so how exactly you defines passion? Yeah, so sometimes you do what you like, finding your potential, right? Even if you fail first, right, and then you do that, and then don't fear, importance of discipline, etc., etc., right? So in general, what is my definition of passion, right? What I understand based on my experiences, right? As a human being, we're all blessed, right? We're all blessed to, first of all, to get birth as a human being, unlike as any other creatures in this world, right? Because we were so intelligent creatures in this entire universe, right? So as a human being, we all have our own strengths, and something comes to you naturally, okay? And some things you try, you may be finding it very hard to do, okay? Very hard to do. For example, if you take my example personally, I never been an athlete as such from my childhood. Okay, never been somebody who can do physically a lot of things, right? Participating in sports, or participating in any of the even though I'm still really passionate about cricket, right? But physically, when you look back in my childhood, right, I was not athletic. Okay? But what I was good at, maybe I was good at something else, right? Probably I can talk, for example, which I'm doing, right? Probably I can solve some mathematical problems. That was my strength, right? Am I right? On the contrary, in my classmates were there who are exactly opposite, who are really good in sports, right? Who are probably struggling with studies. So what exactly, when we look at individuals, right, we are naturally good in something, and naturally certain things are challenging, we find it hard to follow, right? But when you say passion, if you align your natural interest, what comes naturally to you, to what you wanted to do as a career, okay? And definitely that is where mentors play a very important role. In fact, today, what is my goal is to give you guys some mentorship as a part of this session, right? So what happens is, when you are having a strength and you are aligning your career, I talk about 3 Ds, right? He Madhavan aligns his passions with photography, right? And Amir Khan has been passionate about engineering. That's why he's able to, even though he's doing all those, funny stuff, he's able to top his college. Am I right? Right. Similarly, Dangal, he discovers the passion, and then mentorship happens in form of, his father, right? Her father's, right? Then they become, right. So that's what it is. Passion is something which you like, which naturally comes to you. Then the next question comes is, how do you discover your passion? I'm not coming to the career yet, right? Career, we'll talk about it. How do you discover your passion? Is there any way that I can discover what is my passion? Okay, yeah, that's my question. Akash is asking, how can we find our natural interest in a particular thing? That's my question to you. How do you find? Is there any answers to this? Sir, I really don't know, sir. What comes to me, what is my passion, I don't know. But is there any way that any way that I can discover? Or even if, say, you discover, would you be happy when you discover, oh, this is what my place, this is what my passion is? Okay. Any idea how can I discover my passion? Is there any scientific methodology? Okay, that's a problem. No. Okay, explore all the things, right? Try different things, and what clicks, trial and error. Yeah, you can do that. See, trial and error is always an option, but what happens is, sometimes the trial and error also sometimes takes too long in your life, right? By the time you go on twist and turn, right? Okay, because we see many people, right? They try different thing and they eventually figure it out. Okay. Okay. So what happens is, yes, trial and error is there, exploration is there, but at least some idea. I want to give you guys one simple tool today. I don't want to make it complicated, right? I will give it a very simple tool which you can try that, and then that should help you. Okay. So let me move on. Okay. So we'll come to that. We are talking about passion, right? We'll come to that career slowly. So let me share. All right. So we discussed about movies, right? So we're all unique. We have our own strengths. As I said, somebody is good in something, somebody is not good in something. The faster we discover our strength by ourselves, or with the help of the mentor or coach, the better it is. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to give you some framework and tools so that you can discover that. Okay? If you design your career path based on your strengths, you'll be in your happiness zone. The reverse is also true. Okay? For example, have you ever asked, what are my strengths, what comes naturally to me, and where I struggle, by doing which activity I find maximum happiness? Somebody might have figured out, somebody might not have figured it out. Let us see, let us do a small exercise and then see, right? So one of the interesting thing or very simple thing that I tell in my all my workshop is to know yourself. If you look at human brain, it is divided into left brain and right brain. So the left brain is more about analysis, logic, idea, facts, mathematics, training, etc. Right? That is what the major functionality of a left brain. Where the right brain is all about creativity, intuition, arts, creation, feeling, imagination. For example, if somebody is good in mathematics or engineering or technology, that means say what the left brain is more dominant. Okay. On the contrary, somebody is good in dancing, painting, writing, creativity, etc., etc. The right brain is more stronger. Means more. Kindly note, if you add left and right, it will be 100% score wise, right? So my idea is not to say, not to get into that which one you are good. So my point is these two areas you need to understand which is my dominant brain, either it's the right brain or a left brain. Because if you choose the career based on that, as I said, no good amount of, at least I don't say you choose this career, at least you have a good idea about yourself. Okay, how to find out? There are a lot of tools are there, but what I would say is, there are two tests which I recommend. I would just, what I'll do is I'll just copy paste these two links into the chat window. One says, for example, which brain is dominant in you, whether it's a left brain or right brain. You can figure it out. Let me just you know uh, put it in the, okay. So hope there's a link there. There is one link. Let me share another link here. It might take a little bit of more time to take second one. At least what I suggest is all of you take the first one. Okay, click that. It will take you to a page where there is a left brain and right brain test. If you click there, it will give you some sequence of questions, right? And then tell me what is the score you are getting. Okay, Bhavya is telling what if both the sides of brain are equal. I'll come to that, Bhavya. Don't worry. Okay, first of all, try that and let me know what are your scores or what does it say. Second one also you can try. It will give you a type. That also will give you an idea about your personality. But at least I would request as a part of this workshop, try the first one. Take a minute or two and then let me know your scores. What is that? What is that it is showing? Dominant part. Whether you are right brain or left brain, right? Not came. What is it? Not came. Let me just see. Hope the link is working. There's a start button here, right? If you click it, there are some questions will be coming. Just answer that. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. You can just try. You should be able to get an answer. What is the answer you are getting? You just put it in the window. Okay, MBTA ENFP I took recently. Okay, Pujita, okay, already taken an Emertxe. We are not getting the link. Link not received. Are you chat mein dala hu? I put it in the chat only. Are you able to access the link? Okay, I don't know why you're not able to get the link. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me upload a material for you guys. Then from there you can try to access that. Give me a minute. I know sometimes these links give you some trouble. Give me a minute, guys. I'm uploading something in the material section. You'll download from there. That should work. All right, I'm uploading one file there. You can check, and I uploaded doc file. And let me upload a PDF version also in case you don't have MS Word. Yeah. So in the right side, you see, right, there's an icon called materials. If you see there, you can see two documents I uploaded, workshop.x and workshop.pdf. You can just, you should be able to download. Okay. Yeah, some of them have taken the, from the chat itself. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, all of you are getting Shravan, everybody, you're all getting the link, no issues. Okay. Manisha, all your questions are reaching me. Don't worry. Okay. Are you getting the link now? Are you able to download the document and then take up the questions? Just see the materials icon, the right side. Just click that. Two documents are there. You can try. Are you able to see the document? Can you just confirm once? The doc and PDF, are you able to see that? Okay, yeah, I'm started getting the results also. Okay, yeah. Okay, Srinivas is telling left is 63. Okay, that's nice. Okay, where are you sharing these links? I'm not sharing the link. I uploaded a document in the right side of the icon, right? You will see an icon there, materials. Okay, yeah. So Kushi is telling 58% left brain. Okay, let us see others. Okay, you're able to see the document, right? Take a minute. It's okay. Take a minute. Aram say take it. No issues. Because it's all about you. Because I don't want to, give you any type of a gyan here. Let you realize, right? Yeah. Durga is telling 42% left and 58% right. Lefty 68 says yes. Abhinaya is telling, 48 in the left, 52 in the right. Left is 46 and 54 is right, says Tirmal Shetty. And Mallesh is telling left is 51, 49 is right. Okay, great. Good to see that you're getting the results. Let us maybe give another couple of minutes because all of you to share the scores. Left brain 51, right brain 49, says Mallesh. Yeah, Mallesh, I read already. Let us hear from others. How does your number look like? Yeah, yes, she's telling 62 in the left. Okay. Left is 66, says Sai Surya, and right is 34. Okay, awesome. And kindly note, don't compare yourself. Left plus right is equal to 100 only. Nobody is going to score more than 100, right? So if your left is low, right will be more, and vice versa. And somebody, you're saying, you are equally, you know, um, equally balanced, you can say, right? Left is 20, right is 80, says Hari Prasad. 58 is left and rest is right, says in Vinoj. Left is 60, 39 and right is 61, says Shushant. Left is 74, right 26, says Kalyan. Left 51, right 49. Yeah, numbers are flowing in. Okay, I don't want to go to everybody's numbers. These are some of the examples, right? Now, the point I'm trying to say is the guys who got more in the left brain, okay, more in the left hand side, right? What I recommend is you guys choose a technical career path and stay there on a longer period of time. Because if somebody, I'm saying, right, left for example, like I scored 76, 75 dollars. If you look at yourself, right, see, I don't want to, what I'm saying is, all I want is I want you to realize, right, if your left score brain is more, you'll find, for example, the programming, problem solving, formulas, symbols, right, very easy. On the contrary, dealing with people, let us say two people are having a conflict, right? Or you want to, imagine something and make a drawing, right? You may struggle. On the contrary, the guy who are naturally good in the right side, creative side, right? They may be on the reverse side. Okay, they may be able to write, sing, and you have any creative hobby, reading, writing, dancing, sketching, right? Naturally, that means you are inclined towards the right. And then your left brain will be, it's not, see, there's nothing hard and fast rule here, right? This I'm just telling you a broader perspective, right? See, if your left is more higher, better you choose a technical career, whether IT or core, we'll come to that. Now, if you say, sir, my right is more, or you can say, sir, I'm like thoda balanced home, sir, right? Left is like 49, 51, 52, 48, 53, 47, here and there, right? That is where it gets little challenging. Okay. So what I suggest is for people who are balanced or here and there, right? I say you start in technical, either in IT or we'll talk about it. Then what I suggest is move to the management ladder, get into people management, strategic management, right? So because if you're slightly right sidewise, if you're creative, right, management also will come to you naturally. Okay. For asking me, right, if you ask me mine, if I'm not wrong, it is I think 48.52 or 49.51. My right is slightly more than my left, but very close. So what I've done, I have actually done, pretty much what is there in this, right? For example, I've done a technical and then management means what? I've done like that. Then I even, laid my hand in the digital marketing also. Okay. But somebody is very clear. It's 75, sir, right? Okay. Or even explore. Somebody said, no, you can explore, right? Okay. But the point here is just to get an idea who you are. Okay. So that's my first, point to all of you. Okay, you can also take the personality test and figure it out more detail about your, personality, what comes natural to you, and things like that, right? So I would like to pause here, and ask you guys one question. Okay, in the workshop so far, right? Have you ever asked this question to yourself so far? You're all 20-year-old, 21-year-old engineering graduates, right? What is my strengths, right? Yeah. Because what happens naturally is we're all attracted towards many things around the world. What my friend is doing, what my brother is doing, what my parents are expecting from me, right? Which college should I go? Look at my cousin, look at my friend, right? We're all spending our time lot about others. But in this world, one very important person is there, that is yourself. Often we don't spend time there. We're all looking everywhere else. So this is one small exercise, right? Which closer it took to you and showed you who you are. Okay, of course, you can take the personality test and figure it out more. There are 16 personality types. Okay, right? So Kushi is telling, yeah, ha ha ha, right? He said, never done that. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear from you, right? Okay, how did you find this exercise? When you took this test, right? When I'm talking, because kindly note, I'm not going to the career path, and that's anyways will start as a next activity, right? Okay. When you took the test, after sharing a score, or some of you not shared, or some of you even taken the what do you call the personality type also. I'm seeing Malesh is telling personality type is INTP, right? Okay. Okay. So how did you feel yourself after taking the test? I want your experience to share, right? Yes, sir. I asked myself. Okay, Steve Bodu is telling, yes, I asked, right? Okay. Apart from scores, when you took the test, after that, now that you shared the score, how do you guys are feeling now? Can you share your feelings? What do you guys? What are you feeling? Okay. Okay. 50-50 also with a similar one, yeah. Okay, you can explore both the sides. Okay. I still recommend you can start in technical, then more, into the management part. I would still recommend that. Okay. For example, I'm seeing Pragya, left is 65 and right is 35. Definitely, you should be able to, get into technical side, right? Okay. So does having almost median score in please that a person is flexible on both? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, that's what I myself I spoke about myself, right? Because I can switch gears. I can be on the creative side also. I can be a little bit on the technical side also. Okay, okay. Anything else? Anybody want to share? Okay, got clear about my life choices, says Arav, right? Good to know about ourselves, says Bhavya. Surprise, says Piyush, right? Okay. Anybody? Anything else you want to share? Because I'm sure you would have taken many tests, but this test is a little different, right? I'm actually left hand and I have left brain 64 and right brain 66. That's fine. That's fine. See, left hand, that is fine, right? Okay, this is just an indication. See, don't go too much. It's not like a IIT JEE rank I'm giving you. Just giving a pattern. Just enjoy. And then don't take the test multiple times and say the score is varying. Right? Don't bother. Don't beat yourself too much, right? Okay. Okay. I could actually explore myself. The test showed me my aspects and choices. Coming to know brain focus more on the logical part. It is surprising, says Malesh. Somebody got surprises, right? But my point is, it probably, so yeah, Shraddha is telling we never done this, so I'm happy doing this activity, right? So you've done so many things. Everything is outside, but internally you never got it. My point is, you guys should do that first. As I told in the beginning, when it comes to career path, which is start now, when it comes to career path, right, you are the boss. Yes, I can tell you some guideline. Your parents can tell something. Your cousin can tell something. You have some mentor can tell something, right? But at the end of the day, you are the person who is owned your career. Okay, okay. Self awareness says Gopi Setti. Then yeah, she's telling his type is ESFJA, right? Left and right brain still, scores are coming. Great, fantastic. Thanks for sharing. So now what we'll do is let us switch our focus from, slightly from the self, because needing to know a bit about yourself is very important. Now what happens is, here I got to know somebody says I'm left side I'm more, right side I'm less, or vice versa. Somebody is balanced, right? Or somebody also took the personality test, right? By taking the personality test also, it will reveal what could be the career path you could potentially be taking. Okay. Now that we understood about you, then we talk about your career. Okay. So before getting into that, let us understand certain basics of career growth. Okay. So, I wanted to show the, two pictures. Again, I want you to answer this. You can see a picture here and you can see a picture here. There are two pictures, right? Okay. Can you tell me the difference between these two pictures? The moment you saw the pictures, what is the difference between, or what do you see? What is your interpretation? I don't even ask differences, right? How do you interpret these pictures? Two pictures. Can you let me know your thoughts? Let me see what answers are coming. Two pictures. What comes to your mind? You see that two pictures in the slide? What comes to your mind when you see this? Not visible. I don't know. Give me a second. Uh, is it visible now? Guys, can you just confirm once? Is it visible? Is the slide is visible to all of you? Okay, I mean I'm seeing answers, so I understand it's visible. Boating and climbing, risk in the path. One is stuck with a problem. First one is struggling. Second one is patient escape. Okay, okay. Sometimes the growth is not linear. First one is struggling in career. Second one is climbing the heights of career. They both are trying to reach each other goals in different ways. Okay, hurdles are more. Right, first picture is trying to compete his task in any situation. All right, great. Okay, a lot of interpretations, right? So let us keep it very simple. So guys, I just switched off my camera for a minute. I'll come back in a minute, right? Okay. Anyways, let us keep it going. So what exactly is a second and first and second picture diagram? I will put it in a very simple manner. This guy, okay, what is he trying to do? You see, right? Okay. He's actually, doing something for a survival sake. He's the picture, right? He's having certificates in his hand. You see the outside there are a lot of whales are there. He's already stuck in the middle of the water, right? So that is nothing but he's actually trying to, survive on a daily basis. Yeah, it is also called as having a fixed mindset. Whereas if you look at the right side guy, you can see he has got a well-defined path. He's having a direction there, and he's having a goal. There's a star there, right? He's taking a systematic step-by-step approach towards the career. So job means what? Anybody will get this job. Today's world, getting a job is not a big deal. Anybody can get a job just to survive. We need to eat 3 times a day. We need not that food, no roti, kapda, makan. सब वो सबको मिल जाएगा. No issues, right? For example, somebody, any one of you, or any, including myself, right? I can become a Swiggy delivery boy. No issues. That's a job, no? But will it give you the growth, right? That is what career is all about. Okay. Now, kindly note, we're not getting into, one by one, we're taking a step. Okay. Hope you're getting with me, right? So it is generally recommended that when you are wanted to be successful in the long haul, have a growth mindset. When I say fixed mindset, we think that intelligence is static. Unfortunately, in our Indian education system, we all feel that, oh my God, look at this guy. He's cracked the JE exam or cracked the NEET exam. He got all India rank. Wow, he's an intelligent guy. Kindly note that is an event that has happened in I'm not discouraging anybody, having a better NEET or get score. Sorry, get or JE score. Right? Don't get me wrong. But my point is that is one aspect of it. But over a period of time, intelligence can be developed. You may not be that, be there what you are to want to be, but by taking a step by step approach, by training your brain, by taking the effort in the path to mastery, learning from feedback, and getting inspired by the success of others, you can grow in your career. Kindly note, I'm not still getting into, IT or core or digital marketing. We'll get there. But before that, we understood a bit about you. Then we're talking about a bit about career. Then we'll definitely get that. That's the core agenda for today, right? Okay. So when you see this, any job, I'm not only talking about IT or core or digital marketing. Two dimensions are important. One is the behavioral or an attitude. Second thing is skills. That will not give you a growth mindset. Okay. So when I say your behavioral, right, alignment to your company goals, your ability to work as a team, okay, you being flexible to doing different jobs, okay, you're dedicated to and committed to your work. These are all nobody can teach you. It is all there inherently into your world, right? Okay. Other one is skill dimension, roles and responsibilities. Some of you telling, right, sir, I want to explore and figure it out, right? Okay, it could be an IT engineer or an embedded engineer or a digital marketing professional or something like that. That's more about a skills dimension. Then put together is what results in a career growth. Okay, so both are important. Okay. Because skills can be taught and learned, whereas attitude cannot be taught. It is pretty much ingrained in yourself. Okay. So moving on to give a easier to understand example, right? Okay. I want you to recognize this gentleman in the picture, and hopefully some of you will be able to recommend or understand this gentleman. Can you tell me names of these two people? Let me see how many of you are getting it right. Recently, people were in the uh, in the news. Sachin Tendulkar, of course, everybody knows. Who is the other gentleman in the picture? Array, Sachin Tendulkar, everybody knows. Who is the other person in the screen? Okay, let me 1 second. This is sharing thing. Yeah. So I'm getting some answers here. Uh, Vinod Kambli, right? Okay. So if you look at these two gentlemen, okay, why am I talking about this? In a career seminar here, career workshop here, it's very important to understand. If you remember, if you guys are following cricket, like for example, Sachin Tendulkar was my childhood hero. Okay. If you see Kambli and Vinod Kambli and Sachin Tendulkar, they were good friends. They played the Mumbai local cricket together. In fact, I guess they still hold the highest record in terms of the school, partnership that they held during one of the local matches, right? And if you look at the earlier point in time of the career, right? Uh, in fact, Vinod Kambli was slightly ahead than Sachin Tendulkar in terms of records. Okay, but what happens over a period of time, right? See, Kambli had a attitude challenge, right? For example, he got into bad habits. Somebody's writing, one kept ego, right? One was a drunkard, right? Drug addict, whatever he got into. Even recently, he got admitted into hospital. Right? Look at the life he has handled. Look at the life Sachin Tendulkar has got. Okay, even though we call legendary cricketers, right? Nobody even come close to Sachin Tendulkar's record even today. Okay, so the point is, both of them are equally talented. There's no doubt about it. But what differentiated them? Attitude. Okay, this is one example. So it's a combination of both. I'll tell you another example. Let us see how many of you will be able to recognize this, right? This, I think, let me see. I hope, please identify the gentleman in this picture. Anybody want to give a try? Similar legendary cricketer who want to name one? I'm sure one you will be able to recognize, like Sachin Tendulkar. Who is the other guy? Who are the two cricketers in this picture? Virat Kohli, right? That's very obvious to make out. Many of you are telling. And who is the other guy along with Virat Kohli? Anybody can tell? Virat Kohli, of course, unanimous choice. All of us know. Who is the other guy in the picture? Anybody knows? Virat Kohli. Everybody's telling Virat Kohli. Who is the other guy? Chand, right? I think Tejaswini is telling close to that name, right? His name is Unmukh Chand. Yeah, Bhavya is getting it right. If you look at Virat Kohli and Unmukh Chand, they were also similar to Kambli and Tendulkar. I guess he was also, both of them were under 19 captains. They were like won the World Cup for India, right? And then they were kind of Unmukh Chand was supposed to be the second, or Virat Kohli 2.0 and things like that, right? But what happened? Unmukh Chand could not perform. He got some opportunities, he could not convert that. Okay, and people say politics come into play and stuff like that, right? And what has happened? Eventually, he went and tried to play for some, USA, American cricket or something. His career did not take off. Where is Virat Kohli? Where is Unmukh Chand? Right? So the point I'm trying to say, what these great players are demonstrating us is both are important. Your core competence and your attitude, then only it will take you place, right? Definitely, we can't expect to be a Sachin Tendulkar, but at least you can do well in a career. Okay, we spoke of 2 points. What is a job and a career? In order to be successful in career, two aspects are important: skills and your attitude. So we saw both are important, right? So what happens if you join any job today? I'm not telling any particular this job or that job, right? First of all, the company, you need to understand what the company goals are, align yourself, and then focus on the skill development. Formal trainings companies will provide, on the job trainings, right? Coaching. You do mistakes and learn. You do self learning. That is where you build your skill. Then very important thing is, right, demonstrate results. Virat Kohli, because his record speaks for himself. So as Sachin Tendulkar, right? Then what happens? You get benefits. The moment you start delivering on your results with a skill, they will give more responsibilities, more salary, more promotion. A very simple equation. Unfortunately, many of them don't get it. They try to blame the manager, blame the company, blame the industry, blame the recession, right? But if you demonstrate the right set of results, right, any company will pay. Okay, and then what you do, you repeat. First is attitude alignment. That's unshakable. Okay? So then you grow. So this is a secondary part which I would like to share. So we saw two things now: knowing about yourself, what comes naturally to you, and building a you know building a skill set around that. Okay, so building a career on the second thing we saw attitude and skill. Now what we'll do, we'll go a little detail. Now we'll come to the actual topic of the day, right? About where should I go? Now that sir, I know some tests. I know I've taken some tests. How do I? Where should I get? What should I next do? Which area should I focus on? Okay, let us spend some time on this particular aspect. Let me start moving. So if you look at our jobs, the entry level technical jobs, right? Okay. So one is the technical jobs, another is a digital marketing. Digital marketing has got nothing to do with technical, right? Largely it is very different. We'll talk about it, right? Technical job, you guys say when I'm involved in a software development which is more application oriented, I say it's an IT job. Or when I'm writing a software which is more closer to the hardware, which called as a core job. For example, we are going to talk about the embedded systems job in the software core system today. And another question people also ask me is that, sir, should I choose a services or product company? Okay, so my point is, don't bother about it, at least in the initial period of your career. Later we'll figure it out. Important thing is, right, you guys first get into a job where your strength naturally matters or aligns with the company's goal. Okay. So moving on, if you look at if you take a technical career path, assuming that you are good in the left brain, right, and then you take the technical career path. So people generally grow like this, right? They become an entry level engineer, senior engineer, lead engineer, right? Then you need to make a decision. If you remember, some of them were having a balance 49-52, like that I told. Till lead engineer, you've been technical, then you make a decision whether you want to continue the technical side or you want to become a managerial role. For example, somebody is very good in technical, their left brain score is very high, and they're also able to build a very good skill and grow in a particular company. After you become a lead, become an expert, then you become an architect, then you become a principal, then you become a distinguished engineer. See, the designations will change, but I'm just giving you an analogy. Majority of the this career path is followed by majority of the companies where the terminologies will vary. But I'm trying to say this is a path and the growth available. Okay. Similarly, if you're a lead engineer, but you're a little bit balanced, you want to, you are more flat towards the people, then what do? You take a people management role, become a manager, senior manager, director, VP, like that, you can grow. So this is the growth path available. As I said, right, first bottom line is understand who you are, your strengths are, first point. Second point is ensure that both on the attitude side and in the skill side you're good at, grow to lead engineer, then make a decision. This is one way to grow. Okay. But similarly, digital marketing, what happens is you join as a marketing executive, and then you become a senior marketing executive specialist and a manager and a head, right? If you look at a marketing specialist, marketing is a very vast area, especially when you talk about digital marketing, which involves design, search engine optimization, search engine marketing, social media creators, social media ads, outbound marketing, content writer, digitization automation. This is like a 7-8 items are there. You can choose probably one or two areas in that and become a specialist and go further. Because today, if you look at, right, marketing is something like a mixed veg curry, right? You put all the vegetables and make a sabji, right? That's marketing. For example, if you want to make a wonderful video, definitely you need to know UI UX, right? They need to shoot it, edit it, put it in YouTube. Many people should viralize it, right? Everything is part of marketing. So this is how you can grow in the marketing field if you decide to grow in the right side of the brain is more. Okay, that's more strong. Now let us go a little bit on the core side, right? When you talk about the IT or core, let us talk a little bit on the core side, as I said, right? Look at typically in the semiconductor and the device sector in India. If you look at what this, when you talk about core, what do people do? Okay. They either be part of designing a chipset, because I'm talking a little bit more on this because that is where my expertise come from. Because for example, in application marketing also I can speak, but not this much, right? Okay. Let us give a little bit thrust on this, right? So what is semiconductor company? Semiconductor is an organization who makes basically the silicon and the chip for any particular product. For example, you can take Intel, ARM, Nvidia, These companies are making a chipset, or you can say semiconductor companies. Right? And what many companies do, they don't use a chipset, but they don't create a chipset, but they will leverage the skill set and build a product or a device. For example, Samsung. Right? For example, you can take any watch company. Let's say boat, right? Or you can say automotive company, right? A Mercedes Benz, right? So they don't basically manufacture the chipset, but what they do, whatever the semiconductor company manufactures, they will use it in the device. For example, the dashboards, right? Driver, automatic driver assistance system and things like that, right? So that is where we are talking as a core job. Folks who are doing the embedded systems internship, we are getting you ready for this industry. And this industry, if you see, right, it is poised for a very good growth. In the last 4 years, it has grown at some level. In the next 4 years, right, it's supposed to grow at 20% compounded annual growth rate, which is going to generate around 3 lakhs jobs in India as we move forward. So definitely, from a long term career building perspective, right, it's a very good sector to build your career. Okay. So, what are the trends in the core industry or in general, right? Somebody asked about AI. See, what is AI? See, AI, what has happened is definitely AI has automated a lot of mundane things. If you see, right, for example, a lot of jobs which involves a lot of manual work, right? AI has come and automated. Right? What is the number one, benefit of AI is it automates everything because it mimics the human intelligence, right? Yeah. But kindly note, even some of you to run a AI software, right? End of the day, there's a computing system. Let's say you're running a large scale, you might have heard about LLMs, right? Large language models. If you want to run such a large scale, algorithm or an application, end of the day, it will boil down to a computing system which requires a processor. Right? So we see that because AI has come in, this particular core segment is getting more growth. Because even if you wanted to replace somebody's job, you want to build an AI application. Further, you need a hardware, no? You need semiconductor, no? Right? So more powerful process to process more data. For example, NVIDIA is a classic example for this. Okay. Not only that, smarter connectivity. You can talk about anonymous or autonomous vehicles. Could be cars or unmanned aerial vehicles like drones. Right? Robotics in medical system where things connect and make it work. And unfortunately, in the recent war, which hopefully got mitigated between India and Pakistan, you see, right? So many drones were used. Even you can see in the war also, you see the use cases. Even though that's the wrong example, right? War is not bad for everybody. I don't want to get into further, right? But I'm telling you, even there it's getting used. Okay? And think about this, area where tomorrow, instead of, I think the China it is already getting popular, where instead of the Amazon delivery person delivering you the item, right? There'll be a place where you to go and sit. The drone will come. You can put your pin. You open up. The things are delivered to you. Okay. So this is where it is heading, where it's a combination of embedded systems, VLSI chipset, 5G networking, where everything works seamlessly, right? And this all opening up to a huge concern in the security side. Anybody who want to have a career in the security, whether it could be a device level security, cyber security, or you want to become a security expert, okay, go for it. Because the more data gets opened up, the more connectivity comes into our devices, right? Immediate threat is security. So it's a huge opportunity. It's a concern, but it's a huge opportunity, right? And another one thing that is happening in the in the similar space, let us say autonomous vehicle, right? They're all bringing more computing power to the edge. When you say edge, very simple. You don't need to complicate it. Let us say, for example, you're having an autonomous car. Right? Suppose you are in a particular junction, you need to take a decision. If there is a event has happened, a sensor is detected. That's like a device, right? So in one is option is what you transmit that data to the cloud and get the information. Another thing is what you build enough capability in the device itself, in the autonomous vehicle itself, so that you can take a decision in the car itself. So that is getting more enabled, more efficient, devices that are getting built, where we call it as a embedding intelligence in a device. Not the least, right? AI is also used in coding. Again, this is again a debatable topic here, right? People are asking, sir, if AI is generating all the codes, will it be, I think in the beginning itself somebody asked. If you look at it more or less, the entire slide talks about the AI only, right? So if you look at the AI code development or AI, used for any of the software development, yes. In fact, recently Microsoft CEO Mr. Satya Nadella was telling, right, around 30% of the code which they are generating, it is written by AI. Yes, that is a challenge, right? But when you're talking about a core area where you are developing a code or optimizing it for a particular hardware, for example, suppose I'm writing a code for a smartwatch. What is the challenge in a smartwatch? It is not only a program. The program should run in a particular hardware, right, which is having limited, processing capacity, limited, memory size, limited interfaces. It should work. For example, the application which works on a desktop, I cannot directly put it into a watch, right? So what happens is, even though the intelligence is coming up, it is actually taking up a lot of developer jobs. But still, when it comes to areas like embedded systems or anything in the core side, it is still not easy to generate a source code which is customized for a particular hardware. So that way, what I'm seeing is in net, there's a huge opportunity that is coming in the core industry, where, in my opinion, after the AI has come in, only the opportunities have only increased, and more use cases are coming up. When you think about 5 years back and today, 5 years back, how many electronic devices that you are using? Now, how many electronic devices you are using on a daily basis, or how many electronic devices that you come across? When you go to college, or when you go to, when you go to shopping mall and come back, right? How many devices we come across? There's a huge opportunity for you to build a real long-term career. Again, when you talk about this, you can very well become a technical expert and grow in the technical ladder itself. Okay. So this is one of the important slide for you to understand about the core industry. Okay. So job roles wise, different industries are there, and they all have different roles. It could be on the application side, it could be on the bare metal side, it could be on the testing side, right? So it's a combination of both a vertical and horizontal, okay, where you can get into and then start growing your career. Okay. So now we spoke about, we have taken a, if you see, right, layer by layer approach. We started with who you are, we went to a career thing, right? And when we spoke about the choices in a career, right, and a little bit touched upon the core industry. Now we come to the, come to the skill set part. Okay. All right. So before that, let us take some questions. Uma Pollampalli is asking, sir, is there any impact of AI on VLSI industry? As I said, especially on the core. When I say core, I'm considering both VLSI and embedded systems. AI has only increased the opportunities. For example, after AI has come only, suddenly there's a huge need for a higher end processors. I was talking about NVIDIA. NVIDIA has become so successful company because of AI, because they could design AI platforms which can handle so much of transactions, right? So that way, it's a very important phenomena for a core industry person to cherish AI. Okay. So what skills should we concentrate on? I'm entering into the core industry. I'll talk about it, not only core, I'll talk about the other industries also. Skill wise, that's the next thing we are going to talk, right? I'm currently pursuing AI data science. So is there any chance to get into a good job? Look for another domain. See, if you're pursuing CS, that's great. Okay, you can very well look into any of these domains which I talked about. Only thing is, you need to build a solid skill set. That's why in the next section we are going to talk about. You're already asking me that question, right? Yeah. Is computer science, AI, ML, EC are merging? In a way, yes. Okay. When you say merging, it's more from a customer's point of view, right? Whatever works today, for example, earlier, what was the scenario, right? We're seeing things in a very independent fashion, computer science, ECE, mechanical, right? Now it's all getting integrated. If we talk about, robots used in a surgery, right? An example I talk about, right? There's a piece of electronics, right, which is robot. Of course, the robot has to move its arm and go and perform an operation. There's a mechanical movement here, and all those things are control uses software. That could be a normal software or AI enabled software, because the robot also need to be intelligent, right? Yes, it is getting amalgamated, that is for sure. Seamlessly, multiple disciplines are getting integrated. In fact, I want to see, a day where people come and tell me which engineer you are. I say I'm an engineer, right? You don't want to differentiate, you are a CS engineer and EC engineer. Engineer means what? You make everything work together, because engineers are supposed to solve problems, right? It is getting integrated. Yes, that's a very good observation, right, Ritesh? Yeah. What is UAV in embedded system? See, UAV is what? UAV is nothing but unmanned aerial vehicle. It's like a drone example, right? So that is nothing but a combination of hardware and software, where the hardware is a manufacturer, it has to fly, right? Then it has to, you need to be in a position to navigate, where should it go, what it is supposed to do. A lot of things are software controlled there. Okay. So what is, which is better, VLSI or embedded? Bhargav is asking again. Sorry guys. It's an interesting question. Again, it depends on your interest. If you are really interested in designing chipsets and getting into low level hardware level stuff, if that excites you, you go for VLSI. He said, no, sir, I'm not so much keen, but I really to still, build some products. I'm fascinated about products like EVs or product like robotics. Go for embedded. Okay. Both are pretty good. Okay. Now, A is taking your IT jobs, then, what to choose around. Now, coming to IT. Okay. So, we spoke about core, right? Let us touch base upon a little bit of IT, right? See, IT also, if you see, okay, the A is taking majority of the low end jobs where things are getting automated. Definitely, there are also, for example, when you talk about cases, right? Say, for example, full stack web development. Okay, it's a very promising area. For example, data analysts, right? Maybe AI may take away. When you wanted to really, for example, distributed computing, where you need to basically, develop a scalable web application, scalable, where even the AI comes in, right? It cannot completely replace the skill set, where that type of thinking, right? Okay. Or, I would say a very simple, hotel example. In a hotel, there may be many people, right? People who are serving the food, right? People who are, taking care of the billing system, right? And people who are cleaning the tables, people who are doing a cook, right? Who will have a longer career path? Cook. Why? Cook is having a higher skill set. So my request to all of you is, whichever you are choosing, right? Whether you are choosing a core or digital marketing or IT, right? Go deep. That's the next thing we are going to talk about. Build a deep expertise. Then, every domain is offering a very good opportunity. And the contrary, since we know a bit more about the core, I spoke about it, right? That looks very exciting, personally speaking. Okay. Okay. So robotics commons and embedded systems are not. Yes, it is an embedded system. Embedded system is what? Combination of hardware and software. Customer. Yes, it is very much part of an embedded systems, right? So can you say VLSI or embedded which has more career opportunities? I said, see, again, both are good, but if we talk about number wise, okay, VLSI jobs will be relatively less. Embedded jobs will be relatively more. Okay. But VLSI companies will relatively pay more than embedded systems companies. So choice is yours. Okay. Sir, isn't it a very less number of opportunities core domain compared to IT, and AI is booming now, and how can it more useful in core? See, core use cases in core, in how AI is useful in core, I already covered in my slide. Various use cases are there, right? So my point is, don't chase where there are a lot of opportunities, because many people are competing. See what has happened in India last 20 years, right? Why so many engineering colleges mushroom? Because IT is a skill which people can be trained faster. So what will people that say? Other thing, what happens? You guys being a Gen Z, right? What is Gen Z, right? People who are digitally savvy, right? So what happens? You are used to the digital world, right? You want quick results. You need to come out of that. Don't do something very which is more popular. Do something which will give you long term. In that you require a technical depth. That's what I'm going to talk. Right? So in that case, what happens even in IT, if you build a core expertise, for example, cyber security, where you're going to talk about security in the website, right? In the application side. That's a very promising field. I told security is a concern everywhere. No AI can replace it just like that, right? Okay. How can tier 3 college student can crack a embedded system side? I'll give you some tips, Pranavi, Sai, right? Some of the tips I'll give you in subsequent the skill building we are getting, right? Okay. Okay. So masters in embedded systems in Germany versus MTech same in India. Can you please share some insights on this? Okay. So you're asking a very interesting questions, Tejas, right? See, personally, if you ask me, I'm not a very big fan of somebody doing a higher studies. Okay, because what happens, especially in India, because unless or otherwise you study in a very good institution. Suppose you want to do an MTech, right? You're getting an MTech in IIT, you're getting an MTech in ISC, or some of the top-notch, NITs, right? Go for it because you will learn something. But don't do masters for the heck of it, whether it's in India or in Germany. India, so definitely don't do MTech if you're not getting into top tier ones. Okay. Coming to Germany, what I see is that many of the students whom we mentored also went there, especially in the embedded side. people have done in Germany. What I see is in Germany from the beginning they have been doing practical, skills. That way, an average MTech in India versus any decent MTech or MS in Germany, I will anyways go with Germany. But if you are getting an average in Germany, you are getting a top notch in India, go with India. But my request is, don't go and do master just for the heck of it. Right? If you want to do with your BTech itself, you can build a good level of skills. That's what I'm going to talk about. Definitely, without masters itself, you can grow your career. Okay. So Hariharan is asking how to maintain discipline and consistency and self-learning process. Oh my God, it's a long topic, Hariharan. I would summarize it in a very simpler manner. Okay. I will give one tip, all of you to try out. Okay. Let me see whether I can share it here. There's a very, I don't know how many of you are having having a habit of reading a book, but not necessary. You need to, read a book. But I'll recommend a book to all of you. This book is also summaries available in almost all the websites. And let me share my entire screen. I think I'm only shared my application here. Let me share my entire screen. Okay, so there is this book called Atomic Habits. Some of you had already heard. Okay, some of you are not heard. Doesn't matter. And it is not necessary that I'm telling you buy a book and read. There are a lot of videos available. Just let us say, for example, I go to YouTube, right, and then I just type let us say Atomic Habits, right. There are a lot of audio books, video books, tons of things are available. This is one thing that all of you can try to understand what the book is all about, because that is going to do a lot of good to you guys, especially the topic we are talking about. Because career is a long term goal, right? Where you need to make small improvement and become a winner in the long term. For that, in order to maintain a discipline or building a habit, because many of us, including myself, we are all victim of our bad habits. Right? And if you're successful, it is because of my good habits. Right? Same thing applies to you. And if you want to cultivate more good habits, there is a very simple framework recommended by that author in Atomic Habits. Very simple, very powerful book. I would request you to try that. I do read, and I have my own personal tracker. I wish I can share. It's at home now, but some soft copy should be there. Let me try to share sometime. But I try to follow, but I don't say because of that I become a Superman. My bank balance increased by 20 times. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, what my way of looking into progress or growth is, am I better than yesterday? And compared to today, am I going to do better tomorrow? That's how I measure success. So Atomic Habits are given a very good framework for that. I would recommend all of you either read the book, or there are tons of videos are there. I already showed it. Just watch it out. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that book is with me, sir. I read it. Really helpful, says Bhavya. Then Sai Teja is telling I have this book. A tiny habit changed a lot. Kirtana said yes, because what we think, as I said, in India especially, we want to miracles to happen overnight. Somebody becomes, right. It never happens. It's a combination of small things. It becomes somebody. What it is, right? Okay. So when do this internship come to an end? Okay, I don't know how many days it got over. Likit, maybe you can drop a mail to our team. They will update. Suddenly you're changing the question to internship, right? Highest package is a fresher embedded engineer. People can get. See, if you look at least in Emertxe, our students have got maximum, I think 24, 22 and all they can got. I think Qualcomm pays the highest so far as my knowledge goes. Yeah, it is possible to earn up to that much amount of salary in embedded. Okay. Okay. And somebody shared the link in the drive. I don't know what is there in Google Drive. IS package, tiny habits, right? Okay, yeah. So Jivita is asking how to manage time to multiple tasks and how to maintain consistent. Again, the answer is Atomic Habits. Right? Okay. Want to be a professor, but all suggest to much more pay scale what to do, right? See, in this equation, I'm not going to talk about money. Okay. Again, that is a different topic altogether, right? That may sometimes may end up controversial also. Let us, for time being, keep the money aside and really understand who you are, build a career in this field. In most of the cases, when you do that, money will follow. Okay, not otherwise. Don't pick a domain today which pays you high. It's not necessarily because you wanted to do. Then later point you hurt yourself. I see many people done that mistake. whether it's becoming an academician. I know a lot of academicians, they get paid a lot because they invented something. For example, some of my own close, relatives, they invented in academia, right? They invented patents. They license to a company. That company, they pay them a royalty. They make a huge money from that, right? So don't underestimate or overestimate anything. Whatever your strengths are, whatever that's my idea here, right? See, by now it's almost like 1 hour 20 minutes. I'm not telling which one is good, which one is not good. Yes, I shared more insight about the core because that's our background. But end of the day, what I'm telling, I'm giving all the answers to be figured out by yourself. I'm giving you certain tools and tips. That's my job today. Okay. All right. So great. Good to see that, it's slowly coming into self-development and, self-improvement. Very, very happy to see that, guys. I'm really, I'm really a passionate, if not for anything else, I'm passionate about my self-improvement. As I said, I'm better than yesterday. Let us say I delivered this workshop last time. Doing better this time. That's how I will look at it, right? Okay. Okay, I think yeah. So let us move on. Okay, great set of questions. Mostly I've answered. If something is remaining, let me come back. Let me So now the point is, now we are coming one more level down, because some of you already asked me this question, right? Okay, the idea is basically next level digging. We saw 3 levels, right? Your strengths, fundamentals of career path, what are the options available. Now, important thing is, very important thing I would say, is to build a skill set that is deep enough. Because one of the key problems I see many of the students they end up doing is they know something about everything. For example, somebody want to do internship. They'll do one IT internship, one embedded internship, one machine learning internship, one AI internship, one digital marketing internship. Arey yaar, kya hai? If you want to explore, do it. I don't mind, right? But choose one area, go deep. So next few slides we'll talk about how do we build skills in deep and what is the skill set that you may require. So as we saw that, we already saw the 3 steps algorithm. Step 1, know your strengths. Step 2, know your target job. Third one, we are here to build practical skills and not study. Yeah, that's why I was telling, right? Masters, somebody else. Similarly, students ask about certification. Like someone's come and ask, sir, shall I do it certification? No problem. We're not saying wrong to it, right? But build practical skills. Okay. So as you can see, every role has got a lot of opportunities in the job market, right? It is more about having the skills and demonstrate. And employer is also equally tense and anxious like you. This is a very important point that I want to drive to all of you, right? Irrespective of whatever news going around about recession, job losses, etc. Today, for companies, hiring the real talented engineer is a hard thing. Definitely, I can talk about the embedded system because we deal on a day-to-day basis. Today, every company, small, medium, or big, they all struggle to get a good hands-on practical embedded systems engineer. Today also, there's a huge demand. Okay. It's about how well your skills are and how you're able to demonstrate to the company. It's as simple as that. Okay. So talking about embedded, this is the skill set that we show. I'll also show other skill sets also. For example, we say, you talk about broadly everything, right? For example, you understand Linux, advanced C programming, C++ programming, data structures, microcontrollers, Linux internals, embedded Linux, Qt. So this is a stack that we generally recommend for you to build a skill set in embedded as an entry level engineers. Not only that, we also recommend people to build a portfolio. It's not like you keep on studying these subjects. That way in college you studied 50 subjects, right? It's important that you build a portfolio and demonstrate your skill set in terms of at least having 7 to 8 projects, having very good resume to represent your skill set, right? And also all this hardware and tools and stuff like that. This is an embedded skill set. Kindly note, I'll share this slide deck also. No worries, you will be able to revise this, no issues, right? Okay. If in case if you have any, you want to keep it for reference, right? Similarly, okay, if you look at a full stack, somebody want to get in IT, as I said, today we're taking a case of full stack, right? Start with front end, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And very important, the front end and back end should connect using a web application, web interface. It could be in a HTTP, which actually uses the RESTful interfaces where the data is getting transmitted in a JSON format. And in the back end, right, there are a lot of options are there. Somebody can use a PHP or Java or JavaScript. So we would recommend try a JavaScript based backend, either Node.js or Express.js. That is again, we teach courses on that. That's what I'm telling you, because that is something which is very trending. And if you look at web applications, right, if you look at the very legacy applications, Let's say ICICI banking application, right? They're all developed using technology like Java. On the contrary, if you take any modern day application, be it Uber, be it Netflix, right, be it WhatsApp, they are developed using the JavaScript based backend. So that's why we strongly recommend people to go for a JavaScript based option. That also makes your life a bit easier, because you're learning in the front end also, you're learning JavaScript, back end also you're learning JavaScript. Okay. That's one thing definitely you should look for. Then similarly, digital marketing. And digital marketing is slightly different beast here, because as I said, it involves not only technical skill set per se, like how I put in the previous slides. It's also about a lot of creativity and articulation. So I want to showcase in a 3 or 4 circular way to put the digital marketing. One is the ideation and articulation. For example, you want to prepare a reel, right? You start with an idea, right? What is it you wanted to communicate in a paper? Then what happened? You go and create it digitally. You want to shoot it, right? Then what happened? You use technology to distribute. It's not like you shoot a reel and then it remains in your login, right? It should get viralized. And very important, why I'm telling an engineer can make a good digital marketer, because digital marketing is a lot about analysis also. Suppose let us say you launched a reel, right? After launching the reel, you should know how many people looked into it, and what are the demography of people who are looking into it, how many people are giving like, what are the type of customers that are giving like, right? So that next time when you go for ideation, you go with those particular insights. That way, if you ask me, right, digital marketing is a combination of 4 circuits, right? Ideation, digital creation, technology and distribution, and analysis and insights. That is where, as I showed you already, right, it involves a series of skill sets, right, from UI UX design to search engine optimization, search engine marketing, social media creation, social media marketing, outbound marketing, content writer, digitization automation. Like that, a lot of areas are there. What I suggest is you pick one area in this. Okay, you don't need to go everywhere to start with. Try to apply all these points, 4 points, whatever. Anything that you say, all the 4 points are applicable. That's why I kept it side by side. For example, you say, sir, I want to try SEO. Start with articulation. Create it digitally. Distribute it and see how it is working. Similarly, you are creating a UI. You are creating a particular graphics page. Do the 4 things. Right. So this is something which you should focus for a digital marketing. So again, where to start, right? From our side, if you ask me, the first step is identify strengths and finalize your goal, which is the first thing, very, very important to do that. Don't do it because your friend is doing, your cousin is doing, right? Second thing is always identify an opportunity where you learn by doing. For example, Emertxe internship program, why we are doing it for free, right? Why we are running even these many seminars, why we are inviting our campus ambassador to participate in these things, is to basically give you guys an awareness, where you're going to really learn and do certain things. Third one, anything, this is a digital marketing or a technical, showcase your depth. How can you showcase? Work on 3 to 4 high quality projects. There are a lot of resources are there, okay, where you can go and get your projects done, right? Not like a college academic project where you can buy and submit, right? Finally, create a very impressive resume or portfolio. Okay. If you want specific links, I'll try to circulate some of them where you can go and explore these things. But this is something which you can start off. It doesn't matter. You are a tier 2, tier 3. I'm from this branch, that branch. I'm not or somebody can even take it as an exploratory opportunity. Okay, sir, let me try tech, or I'll come to digital marketing later, or vice versa. Let me try, because one of the other beautiful thing in the college is that, believe me, guys, you will like me a lot for making this statement, right? Your college time is a wonderful period to experiment, because later point in time, right, there's enough and more amount of social pressure to get into a job, and once you get into any job for that matter, there's a huge pressure on you to perform, and once you start performing, there's a huge pressure and expectation from yourself, on you to be from your family, right, from parents, and then you get into married life, right? It's only going to make it harder, especially in the Indian system, to experiment things. So if at all you guys want to explore and experiment, right? You want to try out 3 months of this, 3 months of that, go for it. And do what is the ideal time to do it? In the college time. And if you're starting in second year itself, That's even great. By the time you are in the second or third year, I want all of you at least to nail down in one area, saying that at least I tried all these things, sir. मैं एक एरिया चूज किया, इसमें मैं बनाऊंगा करियर. Please start thinking about this from about any of these things from today. Understanding yourself, I given you enough opportunities how the career path works. You're still doubtful, do this 2, 3, and 4, because when you do only you will come to know whether you like it or not, guys. Not by your friend is telling or cousin is telling, because they tell based on their experience. As I said, they are not your decision maker, you are the decision maker. Okay, so this is a very simple, do that. By doing that, okay, I also understand that as a student today, it's very hard to be in the college. I'm sure whatever we have spoken, little lighter topic, right? It's getting more serious as we close, right? Because you are under a situation where we are going through a lot of challenges because of the recession. Every day politicians are twisting and turning the things, right? Russia, China, India, US, right? Palestine, Iran, right? Israel, everywhere, so much of uncertainty, AI, right? Economic, what is it, sanctions, so much of things are there. As a student, you may go through all these feeling resistive. अरे यार ये मुझे क्यों हो रहा है, right? Uncertainty, मेरा क्या होगा future में, right? Worried, sir, I need to take care of my parents, I need to worried about my future career, right? Frustrated or angry, right? Not able to focus, desperation, कुछ तो करके. Somebody is asking me, sir, ये कुछ किए बिना मुझे नौकरी मिलेंगे क्या? Nothing I want to do, desperately I want job today. So my request to all of you is, as a kind of closing remark for today, is that this is a very simple tool to understand. This is applicable to myself also. Right? There are many things in your life which you cannot control. Okay? If you see the outside circle, they also say it as a circle of concern. Right? Political issues, news, weather, natural disaster, other people's behavior, economy, social media feeds. You open it. Right? War. Do you have any of us, including me, have got control? No. But what is in our control? My attitude, my sleep, my health, my family. Okay, what I buy, what I read, what I listen, and then whom we are surrounding myself with. Very, very important. Right? My request to all of you is to focus on circle of influence, not focus on circle of concern. वो होता रहेगा. Things will keep turning. ये आ गया, क्या कर सकते भाई? AI is taking away jobs. What can you do? Can you go and stop tomorrow? AI, stop it. Microsoft, OpenAI, stop it. Can you do this? Though two countries are fighting, right? Ukraine, Russia war is happening for you. Can you go and tell Putin, sahab, band karo? Right? Trump is Infosys. Can you go and tell him we are small human beings, right? Don't focus on that, and don't focus on these things, right? Focus on the inner circle. But I'm sure when you focus on inner circle, you're discovering yourself, right? And then always grow inside out, not outside in. Okay? This is a very simple tool. I thought this makes sense for us to talk in this context, because as we sit, I'm pretty sure campus jobs are getting dried up. Okay? And then, more AI is coming out, the more IT jobs are going away, those manual jobs. The major employers in India, Wipros and Infosys and TCS of the world, right? They're struggling with the existing manpower itself. They used to recruit big numbers in your colleges, right? A lot of things are happening. But my point is, worrying and getting frustrated is not going to help. Focus on your circle of influence. Start something small. I shared you so many things, right? Okay, start something small, and then see, end of the day, this is very important. We shared many things, right? We shared about your self strengths, various career opportunities, what are the present minuses, we discussed a lot, right? What is the fundamental thing required in all of you? You're all young, engineers. I'm really proud and really excited to talk in front of you. It's almost 1 hour 40 minutes, right? One thing I see in many of you, even though you're very talented, is negative mindset. Immediately getting frustrated, quickly giving up, right? Not able to focus, right? Immediately forming assumptions, getting very much judgmental about things, right? Come out of all these things. All those things will not lead you anywhere. If at all, if you want to take my side, I'm sure you will respect my age and experience, right? If you want me to take, sir, in this workshop, what is that one thing you want to tell us? Oh, आप IT करो, core करो, digital marketing अलग बात है. That's a different story, right? important thing is you are all energetic youngsters. Have a positive mindset. Okay, if you have that, then everything will automatically, you will automatically find. Now I given you enough tools, right? Enough at least pieces, right? You'll start assimilating. But you think negatively, now after this you go and turn on TV or watch social media feeds, right? Where some company laid off 5,000 people. What can you do? That's not going to help, right? Positive mindset is the most important thing that I would request from all of you. Okay. So with that note, I would like to thank you for all of you to listening to this workshop so far, right? So let us see. Let me stop sharing my screen. Let us see if we can take any questions here so far, right? Okay, so I'm in final year. I'm so scared about college placement because no companies visiting campus. Yes, absolutely valid. That's what I'm telling And Vaishnav Prakash, what can you do? Okay. सुबह से शाम तक you know डरते रह जाओगे क्या? Would you live the whole life by getting scared? Are you getting scared? Are you getting worried tomorrow it's going to change anything? No. Only you are the guy who is going to build your career. So I given you enough pieces, right? And I given you algorithm, self discovery, everything is there. Just connect the dots. Today, whatever we spoke, work on the direction. It will take some time. At least explore that for 3 months from today. Today is, let's say, end of May, right? June, July, August. 3 महीने काम करो ना एक domain में लेकर, right? Visualize a roadmap. Someone remain the similar, right? You can get into a domain, grow technically. Then either you become whatever I showed that applicable to IT core means embedded on VLSL. Similarly, you can grow as a technical or you grow as a managerial ladder. Okay. Okay. Aditya Kumar is asking very interesting questions, right? Career that gives a less workload or pressure. Again, this is a very interesting question, right? If you like your job, you don't feel the pressure. If you don't like your job, every day will look like pressure. So I would like to put it across, put it like that. Right? If you go and ask Rohit Sharma, everybody knows he's under pressure. Right? What is it? I'm enjoying, I'm self-expressive, I'm trying to give it level. So maje mein hai. He's a cricketer, he's enjoying. Right? But kindly note, pressure and growth come together. If you try to avoid, right? Things on Rohit Sharma, if he's sitting in a house, right, is not, in Wankhede Stadium, they opened a stand in his name. Imagine that, kind of, growth he has got. It's all about handling pressure. That's what I'm telling going to the first slide, right? If you, choose the career what you really like and your strength lies, you will never feel the pressure. Every day looks, even the outsiders will say pressure, you will start enjoying it, right? Okay. Okay. So, okay, let us take some more questions. Career that has got a lot of demand but less competition. There's no career like that, Bhavya. Every career is has got demand. Every career has got competition. There is no way. That's what I'm telling you. See, one of the important thing what I understood. What is one thing I is something which I observe in the Gen Z. You guys is that okay? Always give me a easy way or a shortcut. Because why? Two people are taken care of you very well. One, your parents. I'm sure all of you would agree to this, right? Your parents, which are typically a millennial like me or a boomer, whatever you can call, right? They have given everything to ensure that you don't suffer. Papa is a problem, solution is here. Right? They're taking care of you like this. Later, your teachers also done the same. They never allow you to suffer because if you see in my cases, parents also made me suffer, teachers also made me suffer because people hate suffering. But kindly note, the real world doesn't work like that. You have to suffer. Again, when you see suffer, whether you see it's a suffering or a pain or it's an opportunity, it will make a whole lot of difference when you choose a right set of career which is based on your strength. If you choose a career which is not focusing, let us say Rohit Sharma, talking about cricketing, ask him to do a bowling, no? Every day he will hit. Ask him to open the innings, he will enjoy. So it is all in our mind. Okay. After war semiconductor industry not coming to ऐसा कुछ नहीं है Shravan, don't get into the don't correlate, right? Okay, things will grow. This war it will settle down eventually. Okay? The world cannot work like this, right? Okay. Yeah, semiconductor industry and BTech second year, if the companies institute the embedded VLSI MTech top tier institutes are better to. So a lot of questions coming from Rajashri. Visiting the institute that are related to core, even if it's embedded, we will say they less offering packages. See, yes, I understand, especially when you go for a tier 2, tier 3 colleges, right? Definitely, there is a lesser number of companies, in the core side, because majority of them have been depending on the IT companies. If you see, but if you want to build a career in core, you need to start building a skill set, as we discussed. Okay. You see, higher studies is an option. Somebody is even asking about certification and all. Certification, higher studies, these are all nice to have. But at the end of the day, certification ho, qualification ho, what do they ask? Are you having the real skill set? So focus on building skill set. That's my point. That's our point of view, right? Okay. What about embedded in biomedical engineering in the near future? See, I already told you, right? See, biomedical, ECE, triple E, according to me, they're all having a lot of common subjects. And these days, computer science is becoming 5 different branches, IT, IES, AI, blockchain. Because why? Every middle class parent want to put their kid into a latest, whatever they study in newspaper. But even if you go there, 90% will be computer science only. Okay? My request is don't go by that. Focus on the fundamentals. Okay? Then you can decide your domain later. Okay. Sir, is CGPA matters? If you have skills, CGPA doesn't matter. Okay. What are your thoughts on learning PCB design with embedded? See PCB design against the hardware part. Embedded is more of a software. I suggest focus on one area. Okay, thoda bahut seekhna, but focus on one side. Again, people also say VLSI and embedded. VLSI and embedded are always used in a conjunction, but they're very different. I already told you, right? VLSI comes in the beginning in the chipset. Embedded comes later in the product lifecycle, in the software. Okay. Till enter to 4th year, should we explore all domain of electronics? Like, yes, that's what I'm telling Girish. Not only electronics. Jo bhi explore karna, explore karo by in the 2nd and 3rd year. I would suggest it. See, first year anyways, maje mein chal jata na. Go settling down to college life and stuff like that, right? 2nd and 3rd year are the best time to explore. So by the time you enter into 4th year, okay, you are having a reasonable clarity what you want to do, because you have one more year to build. Okay, to skill set. I would recommend that. Okay, what percentage of CP VLSI? I think academic I already clarified. Okay, my talent not an engineer, but I'm studying engineering for job or how to balance. Give me tips. See, if you are already got into engineering, like 3 Idiots story, right? Like Madhavan, right? He already is, but he's a photographer. So what should you do? Okay. Again, same thing. If you are say photography, if your passion, right? But somehow parents pushed you into engineering, right? Same thing, 4 steps. Find out what you're good at, do some hands-on photography, pick up some internship, then take off. I see a lot of people have done that. Sir, if AI is replaced the embedded software engineer, I think I already clarified this, Akhil. Okay, yes, AI is replacing jobs, but as I said, in the embedded and the core side, even in the VLSI side, AI only enhances the opportunity. That 5 trends you spoke about, right? Primarily to clarify the AI from the core industry perspective. Hope you got an idea. Okay. Which language is best for the future, sir? Again, it is asking, sir, which car is good? Every car is good in its own way. Depends on your view. Somebody is having 5 lakh rupees, they will buy a different car. 10 lakh rupees, they will buy a different car. So for 50 lakh rupees, they will buy a different car, right? So irrespective of the car, you should know how to use a brake and accelerator and clutch. So my request is focus on that. Later you can drive any car. See, same thing, programming languages also. Learn one programming language in depth, you learn. That is good enough. Don't jump 5 different programming language. So what about freelancing, sir? Okay, freelancing you can get into it, Sai, Bhavya Sri. Okay, provided you build a good expertise in it and you yourself create a name for it. Okay, you can become, but not in the beginning. I would say as a fresh engineer, because not only about the freelancing thing, you also need to learn about certain processes, teamwork, collaboration, and all, which you'll only learn when you're part of a team or for part of a company. You do that, then you can also take off as a freelancer. Okay. Parth is asking, is industry really require bare metal programming? Of course, yes. Okay. If you look at the real-time systems today, RTAS, wherever the mission critical, let us say airbag systems, right? Automated driver assistance system. I'm talking about automated, automotive companies, right? Okay, so they're all having, very much a bare metal programming. Non necessary. Of course, in the car you have infotainment systems which require a, Android or anything like that. But yes, your bare metal programming is still valid. Okay. What are the basic language to learn first? Anjali is asking. I suggest start with C programming. You being part of this internship, whatever you're learning, it's a very good opportunity. Learn well and build further. Okay. Okay. So how to manage gate and placements both? So again, time management tips you're asking. Okay. I suggest read the Atomic Habits book. You will find answer. Okay. Okay. I think larger amount of questions we have answered. Suffering is a way of living. Wow. Okay. Cool. Mm, right. I think most of the questions I've answered. Um, okay. It's a question from Rutvik. Sir, can you say something about building products, electronics as an entrepreneur, building software or hardware? Again, it depends, Rutvik, what you are interested in. See, there are some people who build the hardware alone and they, built that particular software alone. Somebody built a product. End of the day, according to me, it's all about your passion. Right? Wherever if you do certain things, if you have passion, you will automatically figure the answers. Okay, it doesn't matter whether this or that or that. Okay, see, you guys will be surprised. I'm sure you will agree with me also. Okay. Recently, I was listening to some statistics in India. Okay. Do you guys know that tea business in India is one of the biggest and most profitable businesses? Okay, do you guys know that? Tea business, chai bejna. Don't underestimate. Okay, it's one of the biggest market. Some recently, Nitin Kamath and all those guys, they were releasing certain. Similarly, wedding planning in India today, wedding planning has become destination weddings, right? Huge opportunity, right? Again, coming back to Aisha is asking a question. Sir, give us a golden tip to achieve a dream job. Right? I think I already told in the beginning, right? Identify your strengths. That itself is a huge tip. If you know you about yourself better, half the problem is solved. Because क्यों होता है ना? We waste lot of energy in area where we don't want to. We study entrance exam which we never will be succeeding. Okay, I don't want to take name. We take up some courses which we know where we are never going to pursue. It's not waste over your life, mein. But if you know about yourself, it's all about more than doing, right? More than that, not doing which is not okay. Remove that. Then you will do whatever you like. If you ask me single tip, know yourself. That's why I started with that. Left brain, right brain, right? Okay. That would be my golden tip, Aisha. The earlier you discover, the better it is. Okay. All right. Okay. Maybe we should do a part-time tea business. Yes, why not? In fact, I'll tell you, some of my friends have done it and they've done very well. Some of them, even switched over to the catering business. They left a, well-paying corporate job. Many of them went. Food business is a big deal in India, right? Marriage, destination weddings, big business, right? Yeah. Everywhere it's actually doing, right. Again, many of you are asking about, sir, I'm having exams, right? How do you answer something? Again, study Atomic Habits. It's all about prioritization. Okay. People always say, I'm having exam and I'm having internship. Both I cannot manage. You can manage both, very well possible. I was telling this morning an example, right? See, you may like a politicians, you may not like politicians. That's a different story. Okay. India has got 140 crore people. Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat. 140 crore, member country, biggest in the world, managed by one prime minister. No, he is also having 24 hours. No, similarly, if you take a state of Karnataka, maybe close to 7 crore population, managed by one chief minister. No, he is also having 24 hours. No, how they are able to manage? And for all you know, their life is always at risk. Somewhere some calamity may, actual calamity may happen. Somewhere violence may happen. Opposition parties may come and do that. taking care of the people. Don't underestimate, right? The job of a politician, right? But still they manage to do it. How they're doing it? I was telling this morning to students, I was having some interaction. I tell, you may like politicians, you don't like politicians. Yeah, politicians only साथ में रखो, right? But still, all of us can learn time management from all the politicians, right? From an MLA to MP to minister to prime minister, chief minister. You'll agree with me, guys. Okay, you may or may not like the politics. उसको side में रखो. Even I have my views, right? I'm not trying to make it, yeah, right. Everybody has got its 24 hours time. How you manage, my mentor used to tell. Okay. I used to, ask him how you come you are maintaining physical fitness, you're able to time spend with family, you're running a CEO, you're running a company, right? You're taking care of people, you're able to attention to detail so much. He said, it's all possible. People run countries. His example was that. I'm just sharing that with you, right? People run a country of 144, 40 crore. Imagine India as a country and Mr. Modi as a CEO. Right? Imagine a state of Karnataka as a country, right? Chief Minister, Mr. Sidramaya is a CEO of Karnataka. Imagine how they run. If they can run it, why can't we, right? One internship and project, we sir पकड़ के बैठ जाते हैं. Very well possible. Just think about it. My recommendation is study atomic habits, not books, studies video, something you watch. No, you get an answer what I'm talking about. Okay. Preparing gate, same thing. It's all possible. Okay. You need to manage it. Okay. All right. I think most of the questions I've answered. Okay. Maybe I'll pause by and ask your feedback. How did you find this workshop so far? I know we have mixed audience today. Campus ambassador program students were there, interns are there. Right. We just taken the slash start from the technical what are the PSUs for electronic segment, right? PSUs also doing pretty good part. If you look at Bharat Electronics is a very good PSU. They are doing very well because of the localized defense manufacturing, right? BL is doing very well, BHL has been doing very well, right? DRDO doing a lot of electronics work, DRDL is there, ISRO is there, right? All of them are doing very well. In the recent past, I'm really impressed with BEL, Bharat Electronics. They're based out of Bangalore only. The stock price is going up like anything. Okay. So I would like to hear some feedbacks. Wonderful session. Loved it. Thank you so much, sir. Says Kushi. Yeah, thank you, Kushi. I'm also Kushi because by listening to your words. Wonderful session. Loved it. Thank you, says Tejas. My favorite feedback. I hope you're getting my point, right? By now, I'm also not giving Gyan now. I'm giving some points. I'm telling you guys figure it out. I'm not here to give you Gyan, right? Some insight that I shared. That's all. Any other feedback, comments? How did you find today's session? So many questions which was stuck from my many years, right? Got many days, got solved, says, Veda Bogadla. Thank you, Veda. Thank you for kind words. Then Shraddha is telling very informative. Thanks for your guidance, says Priyadarshini. Excellent webinar, says Manisha. Thank you, says Aditya. Great session, says Rajendra Reddy. Thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate all of you for asking so many interesting questions, right? I hope, sincerely, whatever it is, right? Just start exploring. My point would be that. Good interactive session, says Muhammad. And then Varsha is telling good presentation. Informative session, says Rutuja. Motivational, says Ayusha. Great, good to see that. Your smile makes Vatavaran positive. Thank you. Yes, we all need to smile. Okay, don't forget that. Wonderful session, says highly helpful. Relays about self, says Girish. Helping me to understand different career paths more clearly, says Gopi Seti Bala. Yamuna. I learned how to identify my own strength. Thank you. Yeah, that's very important for Zana, right? उधर उधर घूमो मत, अपने को देखो. See yourself. That is where the success starts. Explanation says, Homini. It's been a wonderful session. Learned a lot, so many things, says Rutvik. Thank you, sir, says Abhinaya. Arab is telling thank you for your guidance. Then we have Shravan says thank you for your wonderful session. So as Priyanka, Arvind, very, very important to you, sir, Sumant. Very nice. Thank you, says Soumya. Okay, thank you very much, guys. You're all smart kids. I have a lot of, respect and a lot of, the belief in all your abilities. It is just that, your generation, Gen Z, has got a lot of distractions. In a way, good also, because, you have so much of information. But identify who you are, keep the focus. Like same Amir Khan says, right? Success तेरे ऊपर जक मार के आएगा. You don't need to chase the success. Success will come to you. So thank you very much for all of you for wonderful time sharing. It's not easy to sit for 2 hours on a weekday sitting through a career building session. As I said, we'll share the decks to our team. Go through that. This video also will share it. Feel free to circulate this video to your friends, whom you feel it will be beneficial. I'm sure all of you would do very well. Okay. Wish you all the best. Take care. Bye.